Hey lovely sexy hobby people, welcome to today's video, which is going to be a flick through for issue 163 of Airfix Model World. There's a couple of things I'm actually looking forward to in this one. One of them being that they're doing a quick review of the Shannon lifeboat that they're releasing, the Shannon class lifeboat. Let's have a look. So we have the Shannon class lifeboat, but we also have this. Which is Do Not Adjust Your Eyes, Chris Clifford Bill's Dora Wings, new tool, 172 scale, Fairy Delta FD2, giving it a decidedly different colour scheme, which is great, but it was more the background for that made it interesting to me. So let's have a look and see what new kits we've got coming out from Airfix. So it's no surprise that the 172 Boeing Chinook HC1 is coming out. I think they announced that last year. It's on the front cover of this year's Airfix catalogue. But yeah, it looks fantastic. Looking at this, you know, there's a lot of detail gone into it. I saw a video that Airfix posted to YouTube earlier today, showing an unboxing, and some of the detail that's included looks fabulous. It's certainly going to be a much better kit than the Airfix one that I'm currently building. We then have ICM's magnificent M140 ASCAL B26B Marauder. Yeah, looks good. Do apologise if you can hear noise outside. I have got the windows open because it is warm today. Das Werks 135 scale new tool Vomag flak. So an 8.8 centimetre flak gun on a 9-ton Vomag wagon. Cool. Fine Molds 172 F15J Eagle. I love a lot of the 1970s 80s aircraft design, like the F16 Fighting Falcon, the F15 Eagle, the F14 Tomcat, the Panivia Tornado, the Jaguar. I love, you know, their look, and it's kind of, I don't know, maybe it's just a reminiscence of my childhood, because we did get to see some of those flying around occasionally. Display case. It's not often we receive many photos of bombers in quick succession, but that's the situation this month with a pair of B-17s. That's that one and that one. Nicely done. I still like the brushed aluminium, you know, the polished aluminium frame finish on the, like a lot of late war bombers, etc. And this lovely Sky Raider. So the Sky Raider was the precursor to the A10, and it would often loiter in combat zones with the specific role of supporting ground troops. And then there's this lovely First World War tank diorama. So what do we have here? We have 132 scale. Jack Homewood takes Revell's newest large-scale life-saving whirlybird. It's 132 scale H146 ADAC for a spin. Nice. Oh, there's quite a bit of extra bags were sourced from Meng 135 IDF accessory set. These being well suited to civilian use if painted in brighter colours. Yeah, absolutely. They look good. Look good in the aircraft. But this is it's from Revell. It's an Airbus H145 ADAC rather than 146 here. Okay, unless you can do both versions, if there are two versions. And it's 132 scale, €49.99. So intermediate build for this one. Love the bright colour scheme on that. Obviously synonymous with like rescue aircraft. And in 132 scale, that's going to look good. I remember the 132 scale Puma that Matchbox released, or it was in a Matchbox box anyway. I don't know whether Revel have decided to re-release it or whether it's possible that they will. I'd like to get hold of one. Right, here we go. Based on a Tasker 135 Sherman V tank. So, Paul Vikings Model Club IPMS Dorset constructed this example with deep wading gear. 1/144 scale Dakota. This is cool. Martin Hale from Pool Scale Modelers. IPMS Wessex helped Micromare design and produce the pioneering submarine Resurgam in 1/144. Here is his superb model made from the resulting kit. And then there's a 1/48 scale photo reconnaissance Mark 19 Spitfire. This was another article that I found interesting. Okay, Cosmic Dorito. Editor-at-large Chris Clifford tackles a fascinating element of Britain's stillborn space program with Freight Dog's mustard lifting body. So, as I understand it, lifting bodies were something that were trialled, and they were designed in such a way that they generated the whole airframe generated lift, not just the wings. But yeah, certainly an unusual project. BAC mustard lifting body glider, Freight Dogs models, 172 scales, £25 from freightdogmodels.co.uk. Certainly an interesting subject, you know, that's a change from the norm. Das Boot advanced build. Joe Turner gets to grips with Border Models imposing 135 Type 7C U-boat and partial deck. Nice, actually. That is really nice. I've noticed that there's a lot of manufacturers that are producing, you know, things like, I've seen like in 172 scale turret guns for battleships and stuff like that. I mean, I'd still love to see, you know, like New Jersey or something in 172 scale. I think that would be absolutely fantastic. Completely impractical, you know, with regards to where you're going to store it and display it, but I think it would be good to see. So yeah, model spec, DKM Type 7C, a U-belt, upper deck, Border Models, 135 scale, and it's £80.95. So fabulous, lots of extra detail going in here. Looks like a basic hand crane was made using period images for inspiration, primarily made from styrene sheet and items found in the spare box. So yeah, scratch built dock crane for the loading of the torpedoes. Brilliant. Various other supplies sat on the deck side. Yeah, nice. Going Greek. So this is this an F5? Jack Homewood gets a taste of freedom with Italy's re-released F5A. Yeah, F5A. Testing AK Interactive's new 3G paints to build into an Aegean Ghost. Going Greek. So this is a 172 scale F5A Freedom Fighter from Italy, £24.99 from hobbyco.net. So I built one of these as a kid, not this particular model, but I built an F5. I believe Airfix released F5s for the tie-in for the first Top Gun movie, because they were, you painted them, I can't remember if you just painted them black, but they were like the MiGs in that particular film. Nice local heroes, Universal Model Show 2024. There's some really nice kits here. Steve Ledley created this rare sight, an evocative scene using the Frog 148 scale Oakley class Royal National Lifeboat Association vessel. That's nice. We've got a Bristol Bowfighter here. It says large scale, so I don't know what it is. But we've got this nice AT-ST Scout Walker with Stormtroopers. Is that First Order? And then this really nice John Strachan modified the Mitch's Military Models 1/20th scale Piat carrier for his Pegasus Bridge 1944, not 144, 1944 diorama, making it into a radio cable runner. Nice. Naval Scrapper. Michael Turfors completes one of the most obscure iterations of Ford's Model T, courtesy of Ukraine's ICM. So this is, in 1/35 scale, a Model T Royal Naval something. What is it? What are we looking at? RNAS armoured car with World War I British tank crew. It's £28.40 from hanants.co.uk. Armoured cars had limited use on the Western Front while they used those the initial stages of World War I. Blah blah blah. British Expeditionary, BEF, yeah. Royal Naval Air Service. Therefore, in 1915, a special design for a Royal Naval Air Service armoured car. See, I was thinking Royal New Zealand, but that wasn't the case. Nice kit though. I like the way it's been done. I mean, the scrappy attempt at camouflage is a bit laughable, but you know, at least they made an effort. The kit's 4 figures were all easily assembled and mounted on foam holders, so you get 4 figures with the kit. That's really nice. Battling Bulldog in focus. So we get an in focus article on the Bulldog. Is it Bristol Bull? Yeah, Bristol Bulldog. So plenty of pictures there of them. There's a nice one here on a production line. And then Silver Period Delight. Chris Jones eagerly builds the brand new Airfix 148 scale Bristol Bulldog biplane. So from Airfix 148 scale, it's £28.99. Bristol Bulldog Mark II from airfix.com. And again, you know, with a lot of these new tools or new releases, you know, just the extra interior detail compared to what we used to get is so much better. Oops. Pulled the centre out, bugger. And again, I like the colour scheme on this. But yeah, I mean, I should really maybe attempt a biplane again and see whether I can happily string it. But you know, we'll wait and see. Airfix arrives in the north of New Zealand. Cool. It's like modelers making World War I dioramas. And here we go. This I was looking forward to seeing. Now I'm assuming this will come in a white styrene. Or is it grey? Is it going to be grey? Yeah. Blah 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 blah. Doesn't say. I can't see anything that jumps out about what the runners are printed on. I know the original 7 class lifeboat that they released previously the one I got previously came in white, but I'd like this. I will need to get another 7 class as well, but I think they'd look nice displayed together. So anyway, 172 scale RNLI Shannon class lifeboat from Airfix at airfix.com, and it's $19.99, which I think is a reasonable price for a starter set. So we have the hull, 5 parts for the hull by the look of it, and then we have the wheelhouse and obviously crew occupancy area. Yeah, do you know what? This is, I do want to get one of these. Nice. Yeah, love it. Shannon in detail, here we go. Nice. Where did they go for this? And here we got Kobe, World War II miniatures, brick miniatures. St. Mary Glees, a Jeep, a Dodge, command car, a Duck, obviously a Higgins boat, and then another Jeep and trailer. Cadillac of the Skies. So Cadillac of the Skies. Cadillac of the Skies was the name of a piece of music that John Williams wrote for the film Empire of the Sun, and it is the scene where the P-51 attacks, if I remember, the area where Christian Bale's child character is. And there's a really nice scene of Christian Bale on a walkway of a building, and the P-51 flies by in slow motion. But it's a lovely piece of music as well. David Holmes builds the Airfix 172 scale North American P-51D Mustang starter set out of the box. So this is £11.99 from airfix.com. P-51D Mustang 172 scale. And again, the brushed aluminium airframe. I say brushed, it's probably polished, brushed, whatever you want to call it. And then F4 Friedrich. David Holmes builds a test shot of Airfix's 172 Messerschmitt BF109 F4 starter set. So again from Airfix, and it's £11.99 also from airfix.com. Yellow wingtips and banding, which came to be quite synonymous with Messerschmitts, especially I think in the early stages of the war. And purple wings, and this was it. Completes a famous record-breaking aircraft in the shell with Dora Wings new tool 172 scale Fairy Delta. So Fairy Delta FD2. 172 scale, it's £23.95, available from albionhobbies.com. And this, I find aircraft like this, which are kind of like the stepping stones, you know, the research, the experimental aircraft into the aircraft that we then had, you know, in the 70s, 80s and today. I find all of these things quite fascinating. And then we're into books. Right, so we have Axis Wings Volume 1, the Luftwaffe and Co. Belligerent Air Forces Compendium. P-38 Lightning, Detail and Scale Series Volume 18, P-38 Lightning Part 1, XP-38 Prototype through P-38H variants. The Jet Provost Walk Around. Operation Eldorado Canyon. So this was... right, so it's when the US Air Force F-111s struck targets in Libya. Boeing B-29, Flight Craft 29, Boeing B-29, and then McLaren Road Cars 2010 to 2024. Model kits, aircraft model kits, we have an EC2 Hawkeye 2000 in 148 scale from Kinetic. That's £50, $59.99 from luckymodel.com. Obviously, the Messerschmitt that we just saw a couple of pages ago. Jaguar T2 RAF trainer, Italeri 172 scale, $21.99. This Aero AE45S Super Aero PT1 in 172 scale by KP. It's €15.10. eshop.covozavodi.cz. F-16 cockpit in 112 scale, Italeri, $32.99, hobbyco.net, and then a BF 109T2, 172 scale from AZ Model, €15.10, and that is kovozavodi.cz again. You have the FM1 Wildcat 148 scale from Edward, £22.86 from edward.com. Supermarine Seafire Mark 15, FAA and RCN. So is that Royal Canadian Navy? FAA. I can't remember what that stands for again. But this is 148 scale from Special Hobby, €28.89 from specialhobby.eu. Hurricane Mark 2C Jubilee, 148 scale from Armour Hobby, that's €54.09 from Armour Hobby. F-16C Block 52 Republic of Singapore aircraft, Kinetic, 148 scale, $33.99 from luckymodel.com. S-79 Sparvero bomber version, Italeri, 172 scale, it's £27.50 from hobbyco.net, and then an AMX-T, is that the Ghibli? Yeah, Ghibli. Italeri, 172 scale, £29.99, hobbyco.net. And then we're into vehicles. Oh, we've got a nice selection of vehicles here, actually. Right, here we go. So we have a Unimog S404 Krankenwagen, ICM scale 135, £37.80 from Hanans. We have a Humvee M1036 tow carrier, so this is the tow armed one with the tow missile launcher popped out the top. Italeri 135 scale, £24.99. A Pack 40 late with Elite Artillery Regiment crew, Mini Art 135 scale, £29.99 from Creative Models. Then we have a Simovente L40DA 47/32, Italeri scale 135, £29.99 from hobbyco.net. We have another 135 scale kit here, which is the SDKFZ 171 Panther Mr. Craft 135 scale. Price is £46.99 from Amarang even .co.uk, and then a Panzer Horbitz 2000 by Revell 172 scale, €18.99 from revel.de. We have a McLaren quick build kit, $14.99 from Airfix. We have a G506 1.5 ton 4x4 cargo truck by Mini Art, 135 scale, £52.99 from Creative Models. Citroen 2CV by Revel in 124 scale, £49.99. And LAH Gundam Bandai Spirits 1/144 scale, £12 from shopbandai.co. And Shin Burning Gundam, again Bandai Spirits, 1/144 scale, £32. And F91 Gundam F91 EFSF prototype attack use mobile suit, that's a mouthful. Bandai scale 1/100 scale, £50. Again, all three of these models are from bandai.co.uk. Figures, Indian War Series. Oh, this is interesting. Indian War Series 18th century kit 5, the Mohicans. So yeah, I mean, this is definitely Last of the Mohicans vibe. Master box scale 135, £13.50. Some British armoured car crew, mini art scale 135, £13.99 from Creative Models. Zombies, these look like prints, 3D prints. Zombies 135 scale, £19.99 from tyrellmodels.co.uk. And then Strange Company's Adventures Episode 4, We Beat Them, Master Box 124 scale. So these sort of like almost fantasy comic book characters. Really weird. There's a dwarf on like walking stilts, and what could only be probably classed as maybe like 1950s style space women. Master box, yeah, 124 scale, £12.99. Creative Models. Decals, Supermarine Spitfire Mark 5B, Euro decals, 135 scale. British Military Transport Aircraft of the 1980s, Part 1, 172 scale. These are air graphic models, so all of these. Caldron, Simoon, Army de l'Air and Aeronautique Navale, model art decals, 148 scale. Hawker Hunter in UK Service Part 2, twin seat variants. Fantasy Print Shop, 148 scale. Supermarine Spitfire Mark 16. Bucon scale models, 124 scale. And then Mr. Smith BF109G-14. Zero decals, 148 scale. And then some aftermarket parts. We get some more 135 scale, 1/350th scale, I should say, aircraft to go with your 1/350th warships for those that like to do that scale. These are HE E13A Jake float plane with unfolded wings and one with folded wings. Mini Bar and Freezer, 135 scale. This is from Lang Models. FM2 Gunbase, Edward, 148 scale. Have another 1/350th scale Supermarine Walrus amphibious plane, unfolded wings there. Black Cat Models, Bedford QL wheels, pattern 1, IBG model scale 172 scale. Cheese products in 135 scale for populating dioramas. Oh, M8A1 US landing mat, 135 scale from ICM. So is that kind of similar to the PSP, pierced steel plating, that a lot of modern aircraft engineers at like engineering regiments use? Quad pom-pom late 1/600 scale. These look like 3D print. 3D print of some piglets, 148 scale. BF109 G2 cockpit, 172 scale here. Edward. Model angle cutter, that's a chunky bit of kit. Lang models, £5.99, essentially a mini mitre box for modelers. This resin-bodied item has a graduated 60mm metal insert for measuring purposes, along with magnetic base for storage use. It allows cuts at 30, 45, 60 and 90 degrees using a scalpel or fine razor saw. That would be a really handy thing to have. Okay, and then we're into our last few bits of advertising, and then I'll do the show guide as well. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed that flick through for that magazine, and hopefully you'll join me in the next video. All right, take care. Bye bye.